Today I will take this next portion in heat waste heat recovery system, that is the use of heat regenerator or the construction of heat regenerator. Heat regenerator or heat exchanger, it can be consist of a complete pipeline work where from this molten metal is used for transfer of heat. Maximum temperature which is obtained from the portion of the heat from the waste heat source, it is given to the molten metal, and then from molten metal the air is flow over the molten metal. So this temperature of molten metal, which is of the range of 5 to 600 degrees Celsius, it is transferred to the molten metal to the air, and this air through pipelines it is given to the different places where in process heat is required for the purpose of production of some product. So heat regenerator, in any heat regenerator, exhaust heat is absorbed by solid thermal storage material, and this heat is then given off to the incoming fresh air supply. Preferably it is used for large capacity, for example in glass and steel melting plant. So this particular heat regenerator, it is used for basically for the large industries or where the large amount of heat required at a very high temperature. So this is can be done with the help of that particular heat regenerator. Heat regenerator have two type of construction. One is Peeble heater type and second is rotary regenerator. So in rotary regenerator, the molten metal in which part it is placed, it is having a rotating arrangement so that the distribution of heat can be takes place for the purpose of uniform distribution of temperature for the air which is passing above this particular molten metal, and it is sent to the use of for the use of the process. Then there is a diagram which I will provide you on your WhatsApp group, so that you will take from that, and this diagram is slightly complicated, so not for the purpose of in asking in the exam, but it should be seen by you so that you can understand the concept that how heat regenerator is look like. So for that purpose I will give this diagram on the your WhatsApp group. So heat regenerator is simply waste heat obtained in the molten metal at high temperature, and by this molten metal heat it is transferred to again to the air which is passing through this particular molten metal, and it is given into the pipeline, and from pipeline it is reaches to the process where it is required. Then there is a comparison between these two, recuperator and regenerator. So for comparison purpose you draw one line at the center, one side you can write recuperator and one side you can write regenerator. So in this case the first point is that in recuperator thin walls used because of rapid heat transfer. Preheat is limited to a maximum temperature of about 400 degree. This is in case of recuperator. In regenerator, first point is it can operate at higher temperature above 900 degrees centigrade and use in the heavy massive checkers brick work. It is used for this type of furnace where the fire bricks are used. Then second point in the recuperator is useful for very small to medium furnaces, and in case of regenerator the second point is useful for very large furnaces. Then third point is the cost of this recuperator is less, they are cheaper, and cost of the regenerator is high or they are expensive. Then fourth point is the temperature of the preheat is steady. Whatever preheat obtained from the waste heat source, this temperature is normally steady or constant. And in case of regenerator, the temperature of preheat is fluctuating. So this is a comparison point 4. Then fifth point is the requires very little attention for maintenance in case of recuperator, and it is in case of regenerator it requires frequent maintenance and attention. Then sixth point is that requirement of size space for installation. In case of recuperator, it is a small space required for its installation, while in case of regenerator you require the large space for installation. Then seventh point is that the industrial use for the small engineering industries, this recuperator can be used. For the small industries or the small engineering industries where temperature requirement is less, we can use this recuperator. And in case of regenerator, they are used in large industries like glass melting or steel melting plant. So this is the purpose of use for regenerator. Then requirement of civil work in case of recuperator is less civil work is required. In case of the regenerator, the requirement of civil work is large. Then last point is the initial installation cost of recuperator is less, and cost of regenerator is very high in initial installation cost. So this finishes the comparison of the recuperator and heat generator. Now come to the next article, that is heat wheels. In heat wheels we have to discuss what type of heat wheels are there and what is their use. So heat wheels are nothing but there are two wheels used, one for the getting or catching for the waste heat from the source, and second it is used for transferring this heat to the process. So there are two wheels kept parallel on the same shaft, and from one side, either left or right, whatever side you can decide according to design, the heat coming from waste source on one side, and this will be rotated, and it is by radiation it is strike on the second wheel which is in contact with the atmospheric air. So this hot air coming in contact with the cold air, so this will transfer the heat or temperature to the cold air. Then whatever this cold air heated up to the certain temperature as per requirement, it is then passed to the process place where it is required. So heat wheels, it is a simple construction, it is a box type construction is there. There are two wheels on two sides. From one side hot air is coming, and another side the cold air is coming in contact with the hot air. It is sent to the process space where it is required for use. Then this is the simple one, and according to the main construction detail of the heat wheels, they are having certain characteristic like this. They should be have a good mechanical strength because they are dynamic or rotating parts, so their strength must, mechanical strength must be good. Then second is they should be anti-corrosive, so they can work for the long life period. And third is the high thermal storage capacity. The heat wheels should have the high thermal storage capacity, so that that heat can be continuously used for the long time. Then it is having minimum pressure drop during the transfer of heat. Transfer of heat when takes place from one wheel to another wheel, then pressure drop should be minimum. Otherwise, what happen? Effective transfer of heat will not takes place. So, according to maintenance of the distance between two wheel, the drop of pressure should be minimum, so that maximum heat can be transferred from hot wheel to cold wheel. Then last point is that the correct thermal resistance design should be used. That is the surrounding of the wheel or the box of the wheel, we should have the proper thermal insulation so that heat cannot loss from the sides of the wheel, provided in the case of that particular box. So the box should be properly insulated and it should not be loss of heat takes place from the sides of the wall. So this is the all about the heat wheels, and this is a simple construction that I will give the diagram of this. After that there is a one article of heat pipes. The heat pipes are used. This heat pipes construction is also very simple. It is having three stage construction, in which first stage is there, the outer pipe is there. That outer pipe will have that sealed container, it is called sealed container. So it is sealed container means it is airtight and it is provided with proper thermal insulation. Then inside this sealed container there is a capillary tubes are there which are provided inside it, which carries the liquid to flow through which the transfer of heat can be takes place. Then inside that, that is the central tube is there or central pipe is there, in which the actual fluid material or the flue gases or the vapor flow that carries the transfer heat from the waste heat recovery system. So this heat pipe is also having simple design. It is having operation in three sections horizontally. One is the evaporator section, second is the adiabatic section, and third is the condenser section. So first section is that that is connected with the source of the heat from where the waste heat is obtained. So that is the evaporator section, from where the evaporation takes place for the vapor which carries the heat. And in second section, which is a long distance section, in which adiabatic section is there, in which the temperature variation is obtained according to use. And then the last section is the condenser section, in which the vapor or the steam which is flowing through the central pipe, it will be condensed at the last and can be used for other purpose. So these heat pipes are used for many purpose. Basically the typical application of the heat pipes are there. There's process to process heating, it is required. Second, it is required for process to space heating. That is, if you require to heat some space where you require certain temperature to keeping certain product or to running certain process at a particular temperature, then the process to space heating, it is can be done by the heat pipe. Then process to process heat transfer, it is also a simple application in which two pipes are running in parallel, and one pipe carrying the hot flue gases or the vapor or the steam, and that will transfer the heat from one pipe to another pipe. So this is having one process and the second process. So heat transfer can be takes place with the help of this particular transfer of heat takes place by radiation from pipe to pipe. Then in HVAC system application, that is heat ventilation and air conditioning system, this is also used for that. Then fourth one is the preheating of the boiler combustion air. Whatever combustion takes place in boiler, it is in the furnace of the boiler. So if we provide dry air or the hot air for that purpose, then the thermal efficiency of the boiler will increase. So heat pipes are also used for this purpose. Then cooling of the cooling of the rooms or the space compared to outside temperature. So this is a similar use as the air condition do it, but air condition it is expensive one. So heat pipe is used on place of this, then the same purpose can be achieved by this particular process, that we can transfer hot air inside the room to the outside in the atmosphere. So the temperature of inside the room can be decreased by the use of heat pipe. Then next point is the recovery of waste heat. Also, as I have told you, wherever there is a source of heat, waste heat source is there, then from there you can obtain this source of heat. From this source of heat, the heat can be transferred to the useful place where this heat is to be used through these heat pipes. So this is one of the use of this. Then waste steam reclamation, this is also one of the use of the heat pipe. If you use between condenser and the turbine end, if in the thermal power plant, then what can be happen, that this pipe will reclaim the steam. Whatever steam obtained after working on the turbine, it is passed to the condenser. So when it is passed to the condenser, then in between that process of the passing this steam from condenser from turbine to condenser, then this heat can be transferred to some other purpose also. The steam which is having a higher temperature, it can be used for other purpose also. So this is the use of heat pipe and heat pipe construction. So both the diagram of heat pipe, heat wheels and heat regenerator, these I will provide to you on your WhatsApp group, and you can copy it from that. Then the last point remain in this particular topic is their waste waste use of waste heat in agriculture use. So in agriculture use, normally waste heat is rather produced by the waste of the agriculture product. Means after crops cutting, whatever remainder is there, people are burning it in form of parali, and this will definitely increase the pollution. So to avoid this pollution, we have to use this waste heat which is obtained from the agriculture waste product. It can be used for the purpose of use in for preparation of the food in the kitchen. We can use this. Similarly, it can be used for providing some heat required for heating of the water, then production of the steam also. So these are the use of the waste heat, waste agriculture product which can be used for this purpose. So in this particular case, we have studied this waste use of waste heat in the agriculture system, or for the purpose of agriculture. So from cattle dung, when we prepare the kandas or the uple bolte jisko, so for drying of this thing, we can use the purpose of this waste heat use. Similarly, there is a potato chips plants are there in which this waste heat can be used for purpose of drying of the potato chips, or for the boiling of the potato chips. So these are the some of the application in food process industries in which waste heat can be efficiently used for the purpose. So normally a question asked in the examination, write a short note on the waste heat recovery or use for the agriculture. So this is mainly use takes place in case of the food processing industries, where the heat is required, and that heat can be obtained from the waste heat source, and this can be done for the production process of the food processing plant. So this is all about this particular chapter for this day. Thank you.